Uh-oh.
Well, everyone, welcome to World at War Comics. I'm really excited for our next guest that we have on, man. We got Mr. Jan Lucanus and then Jet, the boy wonder, man. Let me get him back in. I think he's a better spot now. There you go, Jet. Can you hear us okay?
Hello?
Yes, we got you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, man. So like I was saying, we got Father Jan right here, and then we got the boy wonder, Mr. Jet, Spawn extraordinaire, man. Dog Spawn. It's been so cool to meet you in person, Jet. It was so awesome to meet you and your father as we stood in line for all this amazing Spawn autographs that we got from everybody. That was a blast, man. How was San Diego Comic-Con for you?
It was really amazing. I think it was my best one yet, and it was really cool.
Nice. You did some cosplay and everything. Dad, is this like an annual thing for you?
Yeah, honestly, I grew up going to cons, and within the last, I'd say, 2018 was Jet's first Comic-Con, and since he, was featured, I think it was in Scorched #7 about 4.5 years ago. The conversation has been almost daily, and now it's daily, about like the McFarlane community, the Spawn community, and Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con is it's the hallmark of the year. It's like we're going there. Jet's gonna go, give something to Todd. Before he was giving dog spawns, he was giving something else. He was making gifts for Todd, and it's become I used to exhibit there, and now it's like I have to focus completely on Jet's work.
Yeah. Well, I also want to introduce my good buddy Mark, Tiny Spawny. I wish you were there, Mark. We had a blast over in the Image booth, and we kind of hung out there off and on, man. So one of these days we got to get you out there. But how are you doing?
I'm doing great. But right now, you'll notice that my background's a little different. I've started a new job where I'm traveling for work. So, right now I'm down in Georgia, which is a far cry from home. So I don't have dog spawn with me. I don't have the dog spawn figure. I did happen to go to Target and pick up some of the Q-figs, but I'm doing great. And when you reached out to me and told me that I would get a chance to talk to Jet in person, I was all for it. I said I'll get my laptop out and see if we can't make it happen. I've been following Jet. I think I first started. I noticed him. He was coming up on Instagram in 23, right about the time that I was really getting into Spawn, and I'd gone to SpawnCon, and I saw his art, and I liked it then. I could see that he really cared about what he was drawing, and then he was getting featured in the comics, and I've just watched him grow as an artist, and honestly, it's been an amazing journey just to watch. Each submission that he does for TMP or to be published in the comics, it just gets better and better. And I 100%, which I'd mentioned to Jet before the show, the gunslinger that he did, I absolutely fell in love with it. Not just because I'm a gunslinger fan. I don't buy everything gunslinger, but what drew me to that picture and why I reached out to him and said, if you ever decide to sell it, I want to buy it, is the amount of detail and the time that he put into it. It was the shading that he had done on the neck and on the hand, the detail that he had put into the gun. It just blew me away. And with each piece, he just gets better. So, I'm really excited to see, what inspired him and where he's going to go in the future. He has a bright future ahead of him if he continues down this path, and I'm here to support him in any way I can.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The Spawn community it's one of my favorite communities because it's like every community, right? There'll be toxic elements of it where people get a little over passionate and maybe start angering other people. But I feel like the Spawn community is so tight knit and so supportive of anything that happens in Spawn. You see one artist come to one title, even if it's just a cover one time, the whole community gathers around that artist and makes them feel at home. And I'm not sure there's another comic book community like that. And that would include you, Jan and Jet, and especially with Dog Spawn. Man, the community is going to definitely get behind you, and they want you to succeed. So I love the community for that, and obviously you're part of it, Jet, man. So that's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much. I've actually got right next to me a Dog Spawn issue 3 signed by all of the Spawn team. We've got like
that's awesome.
Jonathan Uribe, Thomas Healy, and a bunch of others. Tom McFarlane. We've got a bunch of
I see. Jonathan Uribe, I think I saw Carlo on there as well.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing to have your own comic book signed by all those fellas.
and right next to that we've got the sign, the Dog Spawn sign.
That is cool.
That Noah, Plastic RG Toys, who does a bunch of cool custom action figures and action figure photography, made for me personally, and it's got he signed it on the back. It's really cool.
That is awesome.
That is very cool, man. That is awesome, man. Absolutely love it, Jet. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. My assumption, because just like me, I had a dad that read comic books. Did you see your father reading comic books? Is that how you kind of entered into it for the first time? Or was it through a friend?
Yeah, we kind of like, my grandpa was on my father's side, is a comic book writer, so he inspired my dad to read a lot of comics, and then that kind of just came into me, and so I grew up around comics and stuff like that. Like we had like shelves or like some shelves of them, and then like I saw this post that Todd Brown did of like it was like a 2-pack of Red Death and The Flash, Dark Knight's Death Metal, and he said in the video that like it's not meant for 6-year-olds or anything, and like I was like 5 at the time or something, and I said to my dad, I need that, and eventually I got that, and then like that kind of steered me into the path of like Dog Spawn.
I love it.
It was a very powerful
moment, my friend.
It was a very, very powerful moment because it was as if he took it as a challenge from Todd. He's like, this is not some toy for some 6-year-old. Like Todd said it like that. It's not some toy for some 6-year-old. And Jet was 5. He's like, I need that. It was like a vendetta that he had. He's like, not only am I going to have that toy, but I'm going to like dive into everything behind it. And it's like you were saying earlier, but the McFarlane community is very special because Todd's alive. Like I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm not sure if Todd like really realizes that it is Todd that brings us all together. And there's a difference between like this is my custom from when I was a kid of Wetworks McFarlane, right? Like I painted on a shirt because I'm like, this guy needs a shirt for battle. But the fact that Gene Roddenberry passed away, Star Trek is not the same. Stan Lee is gone. We have Todd, and the support that you guys, the McFarlane team, that is built into the community. Like we feel it on a daily basis. Jet feels it. I feel it. We feel it in our family because it is a community. Communities need leaders, and Todd is an actual leader. And so he's a great example. I think for young people coming up. I can't Jet's part of it. Jet's allowance is a McFarlane figure every month, and it's to make sure that like we constantly study what it means to have a leader alive and who's still like pushing forward on a movement, and that we're all a part of, and even we're on this podcast because we're all a part of it.
Mhm.
It's a really good point. Mark and I, and even Jonathan Uribe, and a bunch of the other artists that we've had the pleasure of talking to, we talk a lot about the impact that Stan Lee had on just movies, obviously comic books. But when he passed away, where was that mantle going to go? And Todd really is the guy, I think.
Easily.
Not that anyone would ever replace Stan Lee, but Todd is our Stan Lee today, man. What he's accomplished, what he's done in the community, and like you said, Jan, the community that has been built around him because of what he's created. I'm not sure there's another creator like that.
I have so much love for his co-founders at Image too. Like that, they're all wonderful, and yet there's also still only one Todd. And if did you go to the Image Founders panel at Comic-Con?
I did not. I watched it later on YouTube. It was amazing.
It's such a. It was just. I mean, if you saw it on YouTube, then you know what I mean. Yeah. But essentially, like seeing his spirit, to be able to contain the stories of others. Like I actually think that's a major part of the future of media. Is like not only being able to tell a story, but can you contain the stories of others? Because do others feel like they are a part of it? Do they find themselves in your stories? And Todd is not only a master of that in his own writing. Like he's just such a phenomenal writer. But he's a master of that in how he conducts himself and how he conducts an audience experience. And to see the other founders, Rob Liefeld, I went and bought Bad Rock because of Rob. I'm like, okay, exactly. I'm getting issue number 1 just because I know that Rob had fun doing this. Yeah. And to even see Rob there, to see the flowers that Todd gives to each one of them, and to then see them give that back to Todd, it's just like a testament to that leadership.
Such a good point. What did you think, Jet?
Of the Image Founders panel? It was really cool how he was like he just like you could tell that they had been friends for a very long time. And that like there was like when they would like draw or write comics, and then they like might show it off to each other and like just like play with it a little bit before like sending off to the printer or something.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was such a special relationship between all of them.
I think this is something you'll definitely remember forever because, me in my 50s, Jack Kirby, there were so many amazing people. By the time I got to an age where I could really understand the impact that they had on the industry, they were already gone. You, Jet, being your age, being as talented as you are with your own title, and then being able to know Todd and be able to be in the founders meeting. I hope you were able to walk over and talk to Mark Silvestri, who I think is one of the most amazing artists ever. Incredible. We call him the Gentle Giant because he's like 6'5" or 6'6", something like that. He's a large person, but he's just so gentle and kind of calm and quiet. And then obviously Rob, which is the opposite of that. He'll let you know how he feels about anything at any given time. I think that's why so many people love him and appreciate him. But yeah, what an opportunity you get to be in a room with all those giants of the industry. What they did in the 90s literally shook the industry. And look where Image is today. It's incredible.
Jet met Mark when he was did his Dog Spawn #1. And then he met Rob for Dog Spawn #2.
Oh, how cool is that?
If I remember correctly. But like the size difference between Mark and Jet was hilarious. I took a few steps back just to let them have a moment, and I was just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a giant next to Jet. It's hilarious.
Exactly.
So I'd like to know, Jet has said what had got him into comics, but what was his inspiration or what was his drive to like start drawing? Did he always draw before he started drawing Spawn, or did you just start once you got into like the comics?
I drew a lot of like animals, and I tried drawing dogs, but those are super hard. I just tried drawing like a bunch of cool things I saw. If I saw something cool that I liked, I would just try to draw it. Mm-hmm. And then once I got into comics, then I started drawing like my own I had like my own characters, like I drew my own characters, but they weren't like.
And where was the birth of Dog Spawn? When did you go from that, Jet, to creating Dog Spawn the way you have? Excuse me.
Oh man. I really just like thought like I was just on the phone with my dad once, and I was just thinking of like cool characters. I think I was drawing actually. And I just like thought of like out of the blue, I just thought of like maybe it would be cool for like a dog Spawn. And then like I googled if that was a character, and there was a Spawn dog that was like that was a Dalmatian with like green eyes and a cape. But like so, and it was like Spawn dog, so I just switched the letters around so it'd be Dog Spawn, and made him a terrier. And like I just like drew out a couple sketches of like his first villain, which actually didn't turn out to be the one that I had made in the comic. A dragon. I just made it with like a shark with like rows and rows of teeth. But yeah, it just came out of the blue. I was just like thinking of random stuff, and I just like popped into my head, and I googled it. It wasn't really a thing.
That's awesome, man.
I also want to point out there that there's also on that same Google search, in the Spawn universe, there was a moment where God was a dog.
Oh yeah,
and that's what popped up. Also, this little dog who Jet, you actually drew that dog on the cover or one of your Spawnuary covers, if you remember.
Yeah, with like the Spawnuary villains cover or whatever, where I drew him in like the background.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so cool.
So, okay, so then how did it go from idea to actually print? Because Todd is very tight with his license.
Yes.
And the fact that, he has let you put out this comic, is like really impressive. So how did that, come to be?
Well, after I like Googled the character like a couple weeks or something later, I was like in 3rd grade or something. My dad like designed a logo for me, which is actually this logo right here. He designed that logo. Oh wait, that logo right there.
Okay.
And like I thought it was really cool, and I just drew the original orange background cover, the one right here. I drew that, and I like actually wrote and drew the cover.
That's
for
cool.
it. So I just drew this in pencils, and it took me like it was like at night, so I literally just drew this while I was on the phone with my dad. And like after that, I just went to sleep, and then the next day I inked it after school, and then I colored it with my marker. And then like that turned out to be the cover. I wasn't actually expecting it. And probably a month later, I started drawing the interior because like my dad helped me like think of actually making it a comic.
Yeah. That's so amazing. I'm really impressed by your shadowing. That is not something someone your age normally gets right away, I think. I think that's definitely a more mature thing to do. The shadowing is really impressive, to be honest. That's pretty crazy.
I want to make sure we give a huge shout out to Thomas Healy.
Yeah.
Because it's really, I think I remember, so Noah was the one who introduced Jet to Todd first. I remember like Jet originally, like the genesis of Dog Spawn, like genesis of his art starts with his mother, Jet's mother, being like, hey, Jet should probably go to this art school that I found when he was really little because he liked drawing and she likes to paint. So, we sent him to a wonderful school called Drawn to Art, and they, gave him phenomenal training. But when he was 7 and he did this piece of art that actually it's in LA right now, but it's in Scorched issue 7. It's the first ever printed first ever printed gunslinger in front of a moon with angel wings, holding like a gun and a scepter.
Yeah.
And or a gun-like scepter.
It was a gun and a mace in the other hand.
Yes, a gun and a mace. And so he did it on loose leaf paper, and I saw him do that. I'm like, I didn't ask him to do that. No, like he just did it out of nowhere because the wonderful folks at Collector's Paradise in North Hollywood, a wonderful guy there, got us back into Spawn. Like he literally was like, "Hey, Spawn's universe is going to be launching. You should probably pick up issue 319, and then there's going to be a gunslinger and all this other stuff." And like, we were in the comic shop. We had just moved to the area, and Jet was like, "I like that guy," and he pointed to gunslinger, and I was like, "Huh." And then we finally picked up the issue, and then he like started drawing his own gunslinger.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh."
I was like 5, and I actually drew the gunslinger when it was like my lunch break when I was in 2nd grade, and so I just started drawing it because I was like, I like this character and I don't really have anything to do besides eat, so I just drew it. And actually a couple years later, I forget what submission it was, I tried doing it again. I had like a reference, and so I tried doing the same art, but like with like with my improved art, and so I actually like tried doing it again right here.
That's awesome. That came out really good.
Great.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, just so you know, we got Ray in the comments here saying, Jet, he's doing amazing things. Good to have you. As always, Ray, tell Irene we said hello.
Well, we have so much love for Raymond. We saw him at Comic-Con also.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
One of the best people in all of comics.
Really great human.
Yeah, and his wife is insanely amazing. She's just so cool.
And just to finish the story with this first image, I sent it off to Thomas. Oh, I sent it off to Spawning Ground. I didn't know Thomas at the time, and didn't hear anything back. So I was like, okay. And I don't know, maybe a month and a half later or so, I messaged again just because I wasn't sure if I had the right email. And Thomas emailed me back. It's like, oh, you should probably go to the store and pick up Scorch number 7. You'll be pleasantly surprised. So I walked into the store and I was like, my mind was blown. Like, there's Jet's art in a comic, and we bought multiple copies, literally for the whole family. Got it for Jet. He was super excited, and then we ended up going to Comic-Con, obviously that year again as usual, and we realized we didn't think of anything like Spawn related, etc. We're just walking around. We're like, oh, what's this line for? And then someone was like, Tom McFarlane. I'm like, oh, Tom McFarlane, you were just featured in the book. So let me let's see if we can take a photo. And then we went up to Noah, who we met in that one moment, and Noah's like, oh yeah, you can take a photo with him, because Noah was walking around with Todd, and Todd was super gracious, and this is during COVID, so we all had masks on.
Yeah.
And I have like my little black coat on, cloak on, and like I had like a pink mask on.
Jet had a cloak on, and I was carrying all this stuff. I looked all disheveled, so I made sure I stepped away from the photos so that they couldn't crop me out easily. But Noah took a great photo and gave it to us, and he was like, I was like, hey, you know what? Jet's featured in this Scorch 7. Can we go and find it and come back on Jump Online? We didn't have a wristband for the line. And Noah's like, yeah, I got you. Just don't worry about it. Just if you could find it, come back. So we ran around a comic shop booth that I used to exhibit right across from when we were publishing more books. Was like, oh, hey, Jan. I'm like, hey, you got this? He's like, yeah, we got Scorch 7. And then we bought it from them, ran back to line. And then Noah just let us slide through, and Jet got to meet Todd. And then Thomas turns around and screams, hey, I'm the one who put that in the book. And that was when we first met Thomas. And he was like, hey, keep sending stuff. Send the photos in from today if you got photos with Todd. And so that's when we sent it again, all those photos back. They printed all of it with Jet's newest art. And that's what started the cycle of him, essentially now being as Thomas puts it, and the most featured fan artist in Spawn history at 15 times. So
That's
that cycle
crazy.
just kept going.
Yeah, and by the next year, I already been featured 9 times or
Oh, wow.
8. So so we went back, and I was in my Spider-Man. I dressed up as like a samurai Spider-Man, and that's when I gave. If you guys see the video, I gave Todd that King Spawn logo that I 3D printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So how did the conversation go though for you to actually be able to print, dog spawn, for Todd to give his blessing? How did that come to be? Did you like go to Todd, or how'd that happen?
It was
So-
a printer issue, actually.
Yeah, we were. I was a little under the weather, and we were like. So I was like laying in bed with my dad as we were like doing our final edits, and then we sent it to the printer, and then the printer said that they couldn't print it without Todd's like approval. So we, as fast as we could, we emailed Thomas and asked for Todd's approval. Or like we told them the story, and like and then like Thomas, I don't remember exactly how it played out, but we got the blessing from Todd in an email, and then we told the printer. How did it play out after that?
So essentially, I emailed the printer and Thomas, just letting like Thomas know. I first emailed Thomas, let him know that Jet was planning, because they already knew him from being so consistent as the fan artist in terms of his monthly submissions. Because right after the second time he was featured, we started doing this whole like you get an action figure of like once a month, a McFarlane figure once a month specifically, if you like keep putting out your Spawn art. So he's like, okay, and so every month he's sending in a submission. Thomas and ZK, Zabriel, Kennedy, Yvette, and everybody. They just kept on supporting and telling them to send in more. And so by the time Jet had Dog Spawn 1 ready, and there was this block at Kablam Printers, which was to me such a cool gangster moment. I was just like, wow, man, the printer won't even print without Todd's approval. I'm like, that's cool. And just to see that level of respect industry wide for, like, again, a living leader was so cool to be able to go to Thomas and be like, hey, Jet has this ready. He wants to give it to you as a gift. And the answer was absolutely. And so it was a really beautiful email. He's like, Jet is part of the family, the Spawn family. So this is absolutely approved.
That's awesome. Hey, speaking of figures, though, I know they're older. I hope you guys do some more, but I absolutely love the videos you guys have done with, was it Fluffy Jesus and this, the fights and everything in there. And like one of my favorite parts is the background noises and the music that you do, because like it pops up on the screen. It's like it says like heavenly music, and like just the fighting and just the choreography and the script. I love them. Do you guys plan to do any more of those?
We were gonna do Fluffy Jesus 2 Part 2 this summer, but we ended up not having a lot of time with Dog Spawn 3 and a lot of other stuff. And so we're hopefully we can do it next summer.
To be clear, it's already shot.
Oh, okay.
It's like completely shot. A trailer. Yeah. We've had a trailer out for a while for it, and it's just a matter of like putting everything together. But yeah, it's densely shot. It's, okay. Yeah, and there's even a Seinfeld scene.
Oh,
no that way. There's a Seinfeld scene. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. So
that's amazing, man.
I really enjoyed those videos. Like, how long ago did you guys do that?
You were 7.
Yeah. So probably like 4 or 5 years ago, about.
Okay.
Oh wow.
We put out a remix version. I think it was last year. Last year, the one that you're referring to, Mark, is the is like the redux.
Okay.
Because the first one went out on YouTube, and then we're just like, hold on, like, you know, the Spawn community is really like obviously dense on Instagram, and when we put it on YouTube, you know, it's on YouTube. You can see it.
Yeah.
But when we redid it for Instagram and did the vertical version, that's when like more people like got to know him through that.
That is cool.
Yeah, those are just a lot of fun. And then you did, I can't remember what it was. It was here recently. You did a gunslinger post. And you had, I think it was stop motion. You had gunslinger like walking around, and I had said something about that. It was you know, I think your dad is the gunslinger because, you know, I could tell that it was, you know, Jan's voice in the video, but that one was pretty funny.
So actually, that wasn't my voice.
Oh, was it?
It wasn't my voice.
Okay.
But
okay.
Man, I was like, wow, man, that does sound like me.
That's hilarious.
It literally sounds exactly. I was like, oh my god, that does sound just like me.
Yeah.
So I was happy.
That is so
and
cool.
also it kind of involves Jet, and I know Jan, you know, you have, you know, your own thing that you do, but and I don't remember what it was called, but the video that you did where you know, you're basically at work, you're going after these bad guys, killing them, but you're still trying to talk to, you know, your son on the phone. I love that video. You know,
Man.
You know, the
dad life.
The dedication. Dad life. The dedication, you know, you're giving to your son. You know, all this stuff's going on around you, but you know, he's just, you know, trying to get a hold of you for like some innocuous questions or just to say hi or whatever, and everything else around you just goes away, you know, while you're talking to him. And I thought that was awesome. I really enjoyed that video.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I mean, that means so much. So that's part of the reason we didn't have time to get Fluffy Jesus 2 out, is because we're finishing up our feature film for that, which is essentially Justice for Hire. That's our if my company Creative Impulse, like we put out a bunch of different titles. One of our most popular was called Justice for Hire, and so it's a mixed martial arts action adventure series, and the live action version is like a cinematic universe that anybody can join from anywhere in the world, right from our app. And people create their own characters. They film themselves as characters, and all of it ties together into one shared storyline. So Jet and I are characters in this, and we were filming a lot for that with his friends in LA, and I've been filming all week here in New York, and so it's been very intense. But this year we're like finishing our feature film.
Well, that's really cool.
Funny thing about that video is that I called my dad, planning just to talk to him, and then like 10 minutes later we were shooting that scene where I was actually like right here sitting at this exact desk.
Yeah.
You guys saw the like turquoise background of my walls.
Yeah.
But and I was eating soup while we were talking.
That's awesome.
You know, I like so my Jet's grandfather, his mentor was Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief of Marvel, and Neil Adams as well. And so, you know, when I was a kid, we would go, like, I'd hang out in Jim's office, you know, at Valiant. We'd go to see Neil Adams, and this all ties back to Neil and I did a podcast several years ago, and he said something so important, that there are new types of creators being born that are going to handle every part of the process from beginning to end.
Wow.
And when it comes to embodiment, meaning like not just drawing or thinking about the characters, but also being able to move like the characters so you can actually think like them. Training the body, mind, spirit, that's massively important for our family. We're also like a martial arts family as well as a comic book family. So being able to find in our body or our spirit, etc., what we want to draw or what we want to put on film is going to look and feel is just, I think, a major part of the creative experience for us. And so seeing Jet train, and you know, he did his first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament this year. You know, he's fought previously, and being able to cycle between, hey, you're in your drawing class now, and then we work out, and then we're going to go film, and then we're going to get finish up some other stuff on, like, you know, sending out fulfillment for Dog Spawn 2. You know, like it's a dream come true to have this. Like, I've always wanted to be a dad. I always wished that I could go to, to work more with my dad when I was a little kid. So seeing him, my dad wanted me to be the comic book artist. He literally wanted me to draw and be his artist. And I didn't resonate with art in the same way. I like filmmaking. I like playing video games and all that other stuff. But to see Jed actually embody that, and it has just been like a massive gift. And so the dad life, all that stuff comes from the same place of just this like live it, think it, and live it kind of philosophy.
That's so amazing. As a father myself, it's so amazing to hear. I love that. Unfortunately, I have one son, 3 girls, but my son, the comic book thing never hit at all, man. He's more into outdoor stuff, which is great. And I do a lot of outdoor stuff with him, but and my 3 daughters, nothing. They like the movies, they like the MCU and all that stuff, so we do that together, but they're not picking up a comic book. They'd rather pick up, whatever they're reading, Harry Potter, something like that, which is fine. That's their thing. But to be able to see the relationship and having comic books as part of that relationship, I think is just fun. I'm jealous.
Oh, even these figures, man. Like, we say all the time that this is like embodiment. Like, this is like we have these figures, and it's not just for us to look at, but it's also for us to draw power from. I'll give people action figures and say, hey, look, this reminds me of you. So when you feel like you are in a challenging place, look at this figure and draw power from it. And I've gotten so many calls from friends that I've given action figures to that are like, hey, I was going through something tough, and I looked at that figure, and all of a sudden I could feel it. And when you really think about how we use story and like how people use Batman or even the Punisher, it's like people are drawing power from these characters. And so to me, it's a holy experience. Like, the creativity is a holy experience to me. So
yeah. I've actually got the prototype for the Dog Spawn figure.
Oh, wow.
That's the very first one?
Yeah, this was like the prototype that Thomas Healy saw and liked. And then,
which is why he got one.
Yeah.
And then Todd McFarlane also got one. This was just the prototype, so we actually got like our own like actual. This is just the dog that comes with the John Wick action figure. So I painted that dog brown and added like those eye effects.
Yeah.
So the only 3 on market, it's Mark, aka Tiny Spawny, Thomas Healy, and Tom McFarlane. That's it.
You have no idea how much it means to me that you guys, thought, of me to send me that. I really that is probably the one of the most cherished pieces of my collection. He sits right behind me, like in my spawn room, like whenever I do the videos. That thing is absolutely priceless, and that thing means the world to me. Yeah. I was I was blown away when you sent it to me. That thing is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you had to go in and I guess I've finally been in a comic book. You have included me in the thank you page in Dog Spawn issue 2, and that meant the world to me as well. Like, I mean, I just I love what you do, and Dog Spawn, the first one was great. The second one was like even better. I'm really looking forward to 3. But like the second one, like really had like laugh out loud moments. So it was. I wish I had it here with me, but it was when you were talking about. It was something about when Dog Spawn's talking to the bad guy, talking about nom noms or treats.
Oh God, puppy yum yums.
Yeah, puppy yum yum. Just the way that you wrote that. So my question is, when you're doing each issue, are you doing like how much help do you have? Is it like all you doing the art and the storyboarding and the scripting, or does like your dad or your mom help you with like the layout, or is it all you? I just was wanting to know.
I do the script and story, and I write it, and I do the pencils, inks, and And for 1 and 2, I've done all of the colors, but for 3, since it was the longest, I did the flats, and my dad helped me with the final coloring.
Nice.
So you do everything in that book except for the coloring?
Yes.
Wow, that is awesome.
That's crazy.
So it's all you except for, actually doing the coloring at the end. That is amazing. That is awesome.
Dude, I was honestly deeply impressed with issue 3. Like, I didn't see issue 3 until we were about to scan it in in the beginning of June. That's when I saw issue 3.
And
so we
the
went to
color.
I was like, oh my god, dude, you got so much better as a writer. And I was like blown away. I was like, this is impressive.
And
The second one's been my favorite so
The second
far.
one was awesome, and I was just like, oh my god, this is market. Like,
nice.
The colors have gotten way more vibrant in number 3. Here I'm opening this.
Yeah, no problem.
Back just to show you guys. I'm not sure you guys will be able to see.
Are you open up the sign the sign one for the whole team? Is that what you're putting fingerprints on that?
Yeah. Janice.
Yeah, he's a kid.
You can see that the colors are way more vibrant.
Oh yeah. I mean, you want to see progression with every issue, and yours is so obvious. Like by the time you get to issue 10, it might as well be on the shelf in a store. I mean, that's what you want to get, Jet. Congratulations, man. That's one. I mean, I have a lot of friends that create comic books. It's hard to do. It's not easy to do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money, to be honest. I don't think people realize when you're doing your own that it's not super cheap. But to do it all like that on your own and have your dad there to help with maybe a little editing if possible, if not colors, I think that's insane, man. You're doing things that adults have a hard time doing. And to be on issue 3 is a testament to your ability to kind of stick with it, because it's not easy, man.
And
thank you so much.
And which issue was it on the back of issue 2, or maybe it might have been the back of issue 2? You gave Dogspawn's backstory.
That was the back of issue 1, and
was it? Okay.
On 1 through 3, we always have that. The who is Dogspawn?
Yeah.
It's just instead of putting it right on the back of issue 2, we put the cover for issue 3 on issue 2 on the back, and we put it on the inside back cover. So, and it's the same thing happened for issue 3. Where when you get it, you can check on the back. It's got a board on it right now, so it's only white. But when you check on the back, you can see the cover, a little bit of a sneak peek for the cover of issue 4, which I've actually got in my binder.
Okay.
Like my.
I'll see it when I get it. I'll see it when I get it. But so, how many issues do you have planned out? Do you see like an ending for the Dogspawn story, or do you have?
I know that this story arc is going till 5,
Okay.
but I'm not sure about after that. I know I'm gonna do more. It just depends on like how many more.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to do a trade and everything, which would be incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, it's definitely the plan.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, you have to, right? I mean, that would be amazing to have all 5 issues in one book to be able to sit down and read the whole story.
We really want to do an omnibus.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And there'll be a remark cover for the first time ever for the second printing, because we're almost out of the first printing. We only have a handful left. Like obviously, Mark, one of those is for you, but we only did a 50-book run for the first for Dogspawn 3. So like we have more than ever folks like on the queue that have just reached out, and we're giving these things away for free. So it's just like, okay, we have this huge queue now. More than ever before, we have to print more, and who was it? Was it Thaddeus Roback? So he messaged. He was just like, "Hey, you guys should probably do a remark cover." And Jet was already just saying, "Hey, we should probably do a remark cover." So I was like, "Okay, obviously we should do a remark cover if they're both saying it." So that's coming soon.
That's crazy. Insane, man.
Along with his, he's got a custom Spawn 77 that he's going to be giving away too.
Right, actually, the Punisher Spawn 77. It's right here, and it's got
nice.
cool cape, and it's got the Punisher symbol, and yeah.
Inspired by Ralph Seafront.
That you painted?
Yeah, I custom painted it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was from the 2-pack with Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane, the action figure is actually right in that black or that lit up blue case right behind me, with all my most of my McFarlanes in there. So I just took these out. This one and this Soul Crusher. That I custom painted. I kind of did like the same thing pretty much for the capes.
Yeah.
And it's also Punisher.
That is cool, man.
So which is your favorite thing? Do you like doing the comics and the like the story, that more than the custom painting the figures, or is it about even?
It's different. I'd say it's pretty much even, because like I love painting like things that I can actually like move versus like drawing on paper. But I love like the stillness of paper. Like it's pretty hard to paint on these figures, because they're just like so many details and like crevices that hard to get into the detail. But once you like get it good, then it actually like brings out the detail. And like if I do one like actually like really good and it turns out like amazing, I'm so happy. Then like it gives me goosebumps, because you can like actually see all the textures that it like that you couldn't see before.
Yeah, that is a very good way to put it, because I'll tell you right now, like in my entire life, I hate to paint. Like, painting walls, whatever, don't like to do it. And I eventually got a 3D printer, and then, I decided I wanted to like maybe do a couple of repaints on some action figures just to try it. And I found out that I'm actually pretty good at it, and I really like it. Like
your Call of Duty Spawn was fantastic.
Yeah.
Your repaint was excellent.
Thank you. I looked at that figure and I go, that doesn't look like the comic. And I'm like, there's got to be a way to do that. So I really just went and bought some craft paint, some paint brushes, and kind of taught myself. And I found that I kind of have a knack for it. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I really enjoy it. And it's like I get in there with my paints, my table, and I turn the light on, and I get lost and, just have fun doing it. So I can, totally relate with that. And, when it's good, it's good. But, if you mess up, to me, it's just learning, and it's just practice. So it is a lot of fun. But I can't draw. So you're a double starter, Jed. You do great. I've tried, I do try. I could probably give it some more, a little bit more effort. But my daughter, she's the artist in the house, but she just kind of does nothing with it. She's an amazing artist, but, hasn't had. I've tried to direct her towards comics, but, we'll see.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
CR Midi 96 says, hell yeah. This is what we love to see. Creativity thriving in an awesome, positive environment. You're all doing awesome, so keep up the incredible work. And then we were just talking about Ray. Here is Miss Ray, Irene, who is one of my favorite people in the world. Proud of you, Jet. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Irene.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also, back to like action figures, painting, and like drawing, really all the same. You need to practice for a while. And some people like they're already really good. Like they can just sit down and draw like a really good, let's say dog or something. They can draw like really good.
Yeah.
But they still need to practice so that they, or like at least like very often, so that they can be like the best that they can be for that. Like for painting.
So true, Jed. I mean, really about repetition and staying on it. I mean, if you listen to interviews of any of the great artists, they'll tell you, I mean, they draw a lot. In fact, I know a few of them that hold them when they're not at home working at their table on a comic book or whatever job they have. They're carrying around a little tiny art book, and they're just doing small characters every day, and they're trying to do different movements, different hand gestures, just to make sure they can get that down. So, at your age, starting now, you're going to be the next Todd McFarlane, or Eric Lawson, or any of those guys, Rob Liefeld, Mark Sebastian. That's pretty amazing. I can't wait to see when you're 18 and what your art looks like when you're on issue 40 or whatever you're going to be on with Dog and ready for your omnibus.
The John Boy and Jet did a video together last year, and John Boy's giving him advice, telling him to treat his art like a workout.
Yes.
It's like you put your reps in every day. He's like, yeah, treat it like sports. Treat your art just like sports, and you're gonna get there. And John Boy's got such a cool attitude, such a gracious guy. And at this year's con, he was just like, "Where'd Todd sign? I'm signing right under Todd."
Yeah. Sign it right there in that blue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, pull it back a little bit, buddy, so we can see.
There you go. Oh yeah. That is awesome, man. Yeah, John Boy is an insanely amazing, great guy, but an incredible artist. One of my favorite artists.
Yeah, he gave us when we went to his booth. He gave us 3. He gave me a hollow cover of his Absolute Batman. And
22.
Yeah, Absolute Batman 22. And he gave us 2 regular covers, and he signed all of them, and they're really cool.
Yeah, phenomenal covers.
His signature too, man. His signature is really cool.
Yeah, he's definitely like, he's got this rock star artist kind of vibe. Like I love that about him. He's just like, I was like, man, it's like it's his pen turning into fire.
He's definitely one of the best cover artists out there, and quite sought after for all the obvious reasons. Man, he's amazing. You throw him with Tyler Kirkham and some of these other guys, they just nail some of the best covers that you'll ever get on a comic book. And John Boy definitely have quite a few of his, and I'm a big fan. And he's a good dude, man. Great to talk to.
Super good.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of advice because he also will be very transparent about the industry and give you some really good advice on how to maneuver, which I'm sure you've already had conversations with him about, because that guy's been around for a while and he does it at a high level for a long time.
He's always ready to drop knowledge, like literally just mic drop. I'm like, wow, man, he was ready.
And also, something that I noticed about his art style is that he generally, like with his Absolute Flash covers and his Absolute Batman, he always likes drawing like a bright cover, like a bright background cover, and it's like either like bright yellow or bright orange. And it makes he draws the character so well with so much detail and so nicely in his style that it just pops. Like even if it's like Batman with like an orange background, the way that he draws it just makes it pop and just like fit together so well and nicely.
I couldn't agree more. I'm going to ask you a question. It's probably going to be obvious who your first ones are. But when you look at artists, Jet, that inspire you, outside of McFarlane, who inspires all of us, we just talked about John Boy, are there any other artists that you really kind of pay attention to? And
definitely Jonathan Uribe and Jonathan Galapian. They're definitely like Jonathan Uribe's, like he gave me his like art book that he printed, and it's got this amazing cover of like Spawn with like a black cape, and instead of like green necroplasm, it's purple, and it's like hollow foil, and it's super cool. Like there's like detail, and it's like 3D. And it's so cool, and like the way that he draws and like his coloring style, it all just fits together like John Boy's like super well. And I love Jonathan Galapian's like white Spawn on that cover.
Yeah,
it's just, like the way that he draws it glowing is really cool.
You have a Jonathan Galapian tattoo on your arm?
Yeah, Okay, not to hijack you there, Jet, but I've shown this on my YouTube channel, but I had this sketch done at SpawnCon, Jonathan Glappin, and I asked him, I said, is it okay would you mind if I got that done as a tattoo? And he's like, I don't care. So yeah, I went and had it blown up a little bit and had this done. And oh yeah, I love it.
Dude, that's amazing.
That's
I mean, I know a little bit's lost in translation because Jonathan did it, and then somebody else. It's not like Jonathan actually tattooed this on me, but still, I have the original piece at home on my Spawn shelf, and I told him, I said we need to make sure that we get his signature on there. That it's Jonathan's piece. So yeah, he drew this for me at SpawnCon. That's actually the first time I met Jonathan. He's one of my favorite artists. Kirsten Shirley Johnson's in my top 2. But yeah, I love his work too, Jet. He's one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, my plan is, which I haven't really tried to pursue it, but my goal is to get Angel Medina and Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo all to do a gunslinger to have on this arm, but the odds of that happening are pretty slim. But we'll see. I mean, I can't ever say no, but that's wishful thinking.
You'll need like a whole tattoo's like arm sleeve.
Oh no, the sleeve is absolutely what I'm wanting to do with just gunslinger, but I want to get the big ones. I want to get Medina and McFarlane and Capullo. If I could ever make that happen.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, that's my goal. So.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick, man.
Guys, please.
Oh, I just have one. I mean, I know we're getting to be at about the hour mark, but I did want to ask Jet. Like when I was your age, I really didn't have any. I think I wanted to be an archaeologist. I was into dinosaurs. I really didn't have like anything that I was into other than video games. So, do you think you're going to pursue this like as a career, or do you think this is just maybe like a certain point in your life that you're just experimenting with art, or do you have aspirations to do something else when you get older?
I definitely think I will this will stay in my life, and I'll keep doing comics and keep staying in the community and stuff. But I personally want to be a vet.
Okay.
And cool. Help animals and stuff, because that's I've got a dog. He actually ate one of the characters for Fluffy
Azrael
too, and so we literally had to erase him from the story somehow.
Oh no! Oh, okay. I mean, I feel bad for your dog, but I mean, that's awful.
We're gonna do our best to partner with a animal foundation for Dog Spawn 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that and see if we can do something with Thomas and Todd to kind of help animals for the next one. Mm-hmm. Because it's really cool. I'm always doing my best to encourage Jet that when you want to help or make impact, you can actually do it today. So it's cool. You want to be a vet? Awesome. What can we do for dogs today? You're already doing Dog Spawn. How can we partner with an organization to help get that awareness out there, and maybe just bring some more aid to dogs and by this time next year.
Wow. That is so cool, man. I have a friend. I don't know if you have maybe seen him at the pond. Let me grab his book real quick. He goes by, his name is HH. I don't know if you've met him yet, but this is his latest comic. And it's a manga. It's called Bandito. But I think 10% of everything he sells goes to a nonprofit organization to help stop animal abuse.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would love to introduce you to, because he has the same passion as you do, Jet, with animals. And obviously hates to see any animal get hurt by anybody. So I think it's 10% of everything, maybe even more than that, goes to helping animal welfare.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really awesome.
The ultimate defender of animals, he puts on the bottom of his book, and in the book he talks about some of the organizations that he supports. He has all the symbols on the back, like the animal rights symbol and all that. So he works with a lot of nonprofits because that's his passion, just like you, loves animals. But he goes to every con. This guy is at a con every week, and he sells a ton of his books. But it's just for a good cause. So when you said that, it kind of reminded me of HH, which is awesome, man. I think that is cool. You're able to do something like that as well at the same time.
We love an intro, and any way for us to help.
Yes.
You know?
yeah, for sure. I'll definitely after this, I'll send an email to HH and introduce you, Jan, and you guys can make the connection and do your thing. But we both have the same passion. I think it's so awesome to be able to love comic books, do a comic book, but then somehow within your comic give back to the community that's really important to you. And I think that is another notch of how awesome you are, Jet. That's pretty cool, man.
Big shout out to Don Aguillo.
Yeah, he helped me. He inspired me to He talked to me when I made my first dog spawn #1, and when we went to his booth to visit him and give him one, he told me a bunch of cool stuff and nice stuff, and all those things that he told me helped me. It made me think about whether I wanted to keep making dog spawns, if I wanted to keep pursuing making dog spawn issue 2 and issue 3 and 4, etc. And it helped me stay on the path, or to keep doing dog spawns.
And he's got a dog himself. And so this summer we talked about doing a collaboration for the next dog spawn with Don. That's awesome. It's all of this, again, the spawn community overall is just so supportive, and it's just so counterintuitive too, because you see this hellspawn character that looks like the darkest thing possible, but it's actually tons of people full of love and excitement and a desire to actually I'm getting into my philosophy now, but I see Spawn as people identifying with breaking a mold of something that might try to contain you. And when you see how this character is broken out of these different infrastructures of society to say, literally to the point of recreating all the entire universe, what Spawn did, it's pretty amazing, some of the messages in here, and it's a great honor to be a part of this community, and I'm a part of it. I was a part of it because of growing up and loving McFarlane figures and thinking Todd was the coolest guy, but it was Jet who brought me back in, and so meeting you guys through Jet, meeting Todd the way I've met him through Jet, these are Jet's relationships. I'm just here to support. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing that he has that kind of support, Jan, and as a father, man, this is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, brother.
I'm not sure there's too many things in life that's better than seeing your kids succeed at something and knowing that there's a community around there that want to see them succeed. I think we all want that as parents.
Dude, and one more point of gratitude to you, Mark, again so Mark sent us two, a whole care package, including two.
That's just what I do.
The balloons, the blue Spawn 1977, original drawing that I saw it online. Jet saw it online. We both freaked out. We both literally went to multiple.
When he came here for my birthday, when he came to Florida for my birthday, literally there's so many Walmarts here, and since it was a Walmart exclusive or something, something like that, he literally, whenever we saw a Walmart, we would stop there and check the toy, the electronics section, because that's when a lot of the McFarlanes and Funko Pops and all of those higher end not necessarily toys are. Yeah. And we also checked the toy section, and we scoured everywhere, and we couldn't find one, and we were both super upset. And then when that care package came, we just freaked out. He has his in his box on the shelf, but I took mine out, and it's actually in that shelf right there in that display case.
Nice.
Well, see the way that it worked out. I mean, you guys said that you couldn't find it, and I was like, I know I can find this. So you guys live on the West Coast, and it seems like the distribution of toys, they come out over there first. So you guys are in a bigger metropolitan area, so they obviously sold out. It takes like a few weeks to maybe even a month for them to filter over to us. So by the time they got here, I happened to go into a store and there were like 5 of them hanging on a peg, and I'm like, I got this. So I got, I think, 1 for me to open, 1 for me to keep in the box, and I got the 2 for you. And I'm like, I've got to send them to these guys. But that's just part of who I am. I love to get back to the Spawn community. If I happen to buy something extra or have something extra and somebody needs it, now I'm not gonna, if somebody reaches out and said, oh, I need this, but if I hear of something, I want to help somebody out, and that's what I did for you guys. And so, who made this?
Go on.
I was just gonna ask, who made your Spawn 77 costume, because that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super cool. We it was actually inspired by you giving us the 2 figures, and actually you're a state above me right now. I usually I'm in school here in Florida, so you're a state right above me, and so like I didn't know that it came out until like my dad told me about him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I like freaked out pretty much, as did he. And so when we got those figures from you, probably a couple weeks later, I drew my Spawn submission. That was like a low angle profile of that Spawn's blue drawing, that sci-fi drawing.
I do remember that.
And then like a couple months later, like the idea popped up to us and of doing a Comic-Con costume.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing happened with that Deathstroke, where I drew a Deathstroke because he's like one of my favorite characters of all time, besides like Gunslinger and a couple others.
Mm-hmm.
And so I drew him, and then like I saw this figure. It was an LPZZ, because like the McFarlane Arkham Origins is because they stopped making them. They're like super overpriced, and I think they're starting to bring them back or something. But I just got the LPZZ, and eventually that inspired me to make my Deathstroke costume this year.
Nice. Yeah, Deathstroke's amazing. Actually, I don't know if you're reading the Tony Fleece title right now, but it's actually really good.
The Terminator?
No, the new Deathstroke. He has with DC going to the all-in. He now is the writer of Deathstroke for the Prime the Prime world, not like an absolute world, but
the Deathstroke, the Terminator.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes, it is called the Terminator. My bad. Yes, that's so fun.
I've been reading that. I've been collecting all of those.
Nice.
They're really good.
Yeah. Next time I have Tony on, you have to come on. He is one of the nicest guys. If you haven't had a chance to meet him yet, he's super cool dude, really cool dude, and an amazing creator. And definitely someone you want your back on.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Jed is reading it. I'm not reading the Deathstroke. He's consuming that voraciously. I'm pretty impressed with Zatanna, because I would never want to read a Zatanna comic. Like I have no desire to read a Zatanna comic book, and that's why it's like crazy. I'm like, this is actually really good. Like, why is it so good?
I feel like with DC, obviously Absolute has kind of taken all the oxygen out of the room, as it should. It's just been crazy. I love Scott Snyder, but all the new rebooted or new titles that they're doing under All In, all of them have been amazing. Lobo. I mean, all of them have been crazy good. So, and Aquaman. I was never a big Aquaman fan, but this run by Jeremy Adams is insanely good. Now he's
Really?
Emperor Aquaman. He has like crazy powers. Whereas
Really?
Aquaman always had kind of that oddball power, didn't really fit anywhere in the Justice League unless he was in water. Then obviously he was amazing. But outside of water, he was just kind of a strong guy. Not anymore, man. This guy is like Superman level powers with the blue ocean, and it's insane. And now he's Emperor Aquaman. So the best Aquaman series I've seen since Jeff Johns.
Wow. So which exact issue? If I want to pick up one issue, what should I pick up?
Probably issue like I think it's 14 is where he becomes
14.
Emperor Aquaman.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think they're on issue 19 if I'm not mistaken now, and those issues I think from 14 to 19
Thank you.
are Emperor Aquaman. They changed the title because of all the new powers that he got, and it all came out of DCKO. So when that event ended,
I followed that like very, very intensely, and like knowing that this guy's got to get to bed soon, I just want to say like I want to connect this DCKO conversation to the Spawn universe for a second, because like I really think that, and I've said this to Thomas, I've said this to Yvette, but it's every media company across literally every media company can learn from what McFarlane the team is doing, because they are, in my opinion, the best practice of interconnected universe storytelling. It's like there's the only thing that compares to it is DCKO.
Yeah.
And DCKO, like every company has been trying to figure out how to do this well, and I think that McFarlane has been doing it well for years. Like once Spawn Universe launched, the interconnectivity of these titles, which is really led by Thomas and Yvette, they've just done from a franchise management perspective. They've done an incredible job of coordinating multiple writers and all these amazing characters, and it is incredible. Like if there's one thing that I have to buy, it's a Spawn book. All the Spawn books get purchased. The DC stuff, I've been impressed. I don't buy every KO book. I don't every All In book, but there are ones that like I especially was following Superman. I'm like, okay, well, Joshua Williams is doing some amazing work over here. Like Scott Snyder is like a true visionary, and even seeing him at Con and how he spoke about his relationship to DC as a family, you can only get that level of interconnectivity and that level of passion if you actually consider your team a family. And I think that it's rare because Scott achieved that, and it's a beautiful win for DC. Marvel still has a bunch of challenges, but Todd has been doing that, and because we have a leader like Todd in place, you can feel this consistent feedback loop of love from everybody, and I still believe that as much as I love DC and I love what they're accomplishing at scale, there's no better team putting it together across multiple titles than McFarlane Productions. Across media.
And I think Thomas Healy deserves a tremendous amount of love to be the editor-in-chief for all the titles that they came out with. Plus, he's writing his own title. That guy is juggling so much, and I think he does just an amazing job, and he's just such a great guy, man. Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah. Well, Jet, I want to be super respectful of your time.
Yes.
I want to. What's that?
No, I was just saying, Jet, you got school tomorrow.
Yes.
And you get some sleep.
Yeah. You get some rest, man. But it was so awesome to have you on. You're always welcome. And if I have a certain creator on and you want to join Mark and I, we'll let you know, okay? When we have some Spawn creators on, we'd love to have you on for one of those, just to kind of geek out with one of the creators. I think that would be a lot of fun. I have, obviously, all the people I have. I mean, I've had Todd on, I've had Healy on quite a bit. And I think it would be really cool to have you join one of those. I think you'd have a blast, and you would add so much to the conversation. And of course, Dad, you're invited as well. I think that would be really cool. And then before we go, Jen, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about Creative Impulse at all.
Honestly, man, I think that I wanted to keep it more about Jet.
Okay.
I think we talked about what we're doing with Justice for Hire. Jet's in that too. Like we'll have more to say on that in the coming year.
Okay.
But I'm just so deeply grateful for you guys, to be a part of this because of Jet. Jet's launched a Patreon, so if people want to support on there, that's great. He's doing he's doing his second. He's in the midst of his second, preparing his third giveaway. So he's giving away custom figures and more, but the spawn books, the dog spawn books, are free for the community, no matter like where you are in the world. We'll figure out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the third one because I love the second one, and you said the third one's even better. Like I really enjoy Jet's comics, and if you don't decide to keep this as your career, that's completely fine. You do what makes you happy, but I'm glad that I was able to be there for this part of your journey and just to watch you like grow as an artist. So I hope you don't give it up completely. Maybe you still doodle when you're not helping dogs, but I mean this has been awesome just to watch you grow as an artist, and I'm here to support you in any way that I can.
Thank you so much.
And it's really cool to actually meet you guys kind of in person, to actually talk. We've always talked back and forth online, but actually to talk to both of you has been great. This has been awesome. I talk to Top all the time, but you guys, I haven't actually spoke to you in person before.
No, thank you guys so much, and Thomas, like the back that collection is a very impressive one. I just want to say that. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Like every time I looked at your screen, I was like, my jaw almost dropped.
Yeah, I have about.
Tommy has quite the collection as well.
Did you say how many did you say?
About 800.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Most of them are obviously McFarlane. I'm a big McFarlane guy, just like you guys, and so I have a lot of his Series 1 all the way up to his newer stuff for Spawn. But then I'm also a big DC fan, so because he owned the rights up until this year of DC to be able to make figures, I have almost every figure he's ever released.
Wow.
In fact, I don't know if you could see, but right there on the side, I have probably 40 that I haven't even opened yet because I don't have.
Oh my gosh!
Place them. So I got a ton, but I also collect a lot of other stuff too. So Marvel. I'm a big Frank Frazetta art fan.
Nice.
So,
yep.
Yeah, Frazetta Girls and Sarah Frazetta. I have her on now. They're making figures. So I'm a big
I was just about to say.
Yeah. So, anyways,
the Dolly.
Yeah.
Jen and I have a pre-order to get to as well for the super. We didn't get the first run of the blue and red Superman.
Oh yeah.
So that just went up for pre-order. So we're like, we got to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right on, guys. Jan, thank you. It was so much of a pleasure to meet you in person in San Diego, and I really appreciate you coming on. And then obviously, Jet, it was amazing meeting you. Congratulations on your success. I think it's only going to grow. And if there's anything that we could do to help with that, please feel free to reach out. We love seeing someone your age have the passion that you have and crazy success that you've had at such a young age. I mean, some of the top people in comics already. Well deserved. Congratulations, and we'll stay in touch. And let me know. I did send you something, so let me know when it comes in. Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Awesome. Man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, everyone. Everyone that hung out with us tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
that you all have an amazing week.
Thank you, guys.
You
Spawn's
too.
Universe is the best.
Love you. Exactly.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.